Hello, everyone. Hope your Monday is off to a great start. Meteorologist Jaret Lansford here, and we are looking at a pretty nice start to the month of November as we are seeing some mild temperatures building in, and first alert to that being the case here over the next 48 hours, where we see temperatures really building beyond what you would expect for November. So, how long will that remain the case? I'm going to dig into the full forecast here as we're live and let you know what kind of changes we could see as we head through the week. Of course, this is a time of year where we often get a lot of changes. So we're going to walk you through that and let you know what to expect as we head through this first full week of November. Let's go ahead and get into it. And you can see a lot of sunshine out there at this point. We are looking at that dominating and really helping us to warm after getting down into the mid 30s to start things off this morning. We're already at 51 degrees. We're now at the time of year where we really do a lot of our warming during the morning hours. So we are climbing quickly. Notice the lack of wind that's out there, the sunshine, and getting up to 51. It's pretty solid out there, and that's going to be the case for the rest of the day. As we keep that sunshine around, we'll start to build in a few clouds as we get later in the day, and especially right around sunset is when we'll really expand that cloud cover. But that should not get in the way of us getting to about 63 degrees. That's above average for this time of year, and that's going to be a pretty pleasant afternoon that we end up with. Hopefully you get a chance to get out and enjoy that as those winds will stay lighter. Now you do notice they're off to the west. A little bit of some cloud cover that's starting to show up. That's what will start to build in here, that's out near North Platte and Valentine. That will start to push its way toward us as we get later in the day. So let me show you how that process takes place. And here you can see a lot of sunshine still as we're going through the rest of the morning. We'll start to bring some of that cloud cover in as we get our way toward right about noon or so. We may start to get a couple clouds, but it's really as we get into the afternoon where we start to build a little bit more of that, and especially as we get near about 5 o'clock, right around sunset, is where that cloud cover really will start to take over. Could be a pretty nice sunset. It's a first alert to that. Get your camera ready for that. As we go through the night, you can see the cloud cover really takes over, and it'll be that way into the overnight. We'll likely start to break that cloud cover up right about at sunrise. So this is almost ideal timing for us right now because it arrives right in time for the nighttime hours. That'll keep us from dropping off quite as far. With that cloud cover in place, that heat won't escape away from our surface as easy, and that'll keep us in the mid-40s as we're starting off tomorrow, and then the cloud cover leaves just in time to allow us to warm pretty effectively too. So here's what Tuesday is looking like, and it's even warmer than what we have today. We go from mid-40s up to about 70 degrees. We'll make a run at that, and I think we'll end up right about at that 70-degree mark. A little more wind, still pretty nice. There's a lot to like about tomorrow. And really, even though that's the high point of our temperatures for the week, it's still pretty nice when we get Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We're still looking at some 50s to 60s. That's above average for this time of year. Average high for today is 56. So we're talking about temperatures that are going to be above that all week long. Now, what does change is the wind, and that actually helps us a little bit with our nighttime temperatures. With the cloud cover tonight and then having that wind build in for the rest of the week, that'll keep us out of the 40s most nights, if not all of them, through Saturday morning. Now, once we get to Sunday, that's a little bit of a different story, and we're going to talk about why that's the case here in just a minute. But as far as frost and freeze, it's likely going to be avoided until we get to the weekend. So, I mentioned the wind. Let's look at how that all takes place. Pretty light today. We get into tomorrow, a little more wind that out of the south at 10, 20 miles per hour with the wind. So it'll be more notable, but it's not going to be real strong, if that makes sense. It'll be just enough to where you'll definitely catch that wind, but it's also going to be boosting our temps and help us get to that 70-degree mark. So once we get to Wednesday and especially Thursday where we start to really build that wind in, let me back up a little bit. We got a little too fast there with the progression there. There we go. So notice how we get into our Wednesday, we're talking gusts that get up around 25 miles per hour pretty easily out of the northwest. That's part of the reason why we're looking at the cooler temps out of the north with that wind. The direction changes as we get into Thursday, but the speed doesn't. We'll see kind of an ebb and flow. At night, we'll see the wind come down some and then come back to those gusts up around 25 miles per hour during the day on Thursday, out of the south this time. Friday, we wheel that wind around to the northwest again, and we'll have gusts up around 25 miles per hour. So not that surprising. It's fall. We get to this time of year a lot of times. We get breezy days, but it's just going to be seeing that direction spin about every day to a different direction. And once we get to Saturday, this is where we're really going to ramp those winds up. We have a couple of fronts, it looks like, that come through as we get into the weekend. The first one, Friday night into Saturday morning, will bring a chance for a few showers. That's really the only rain chance that we have. Pretty limited moisture, though. Behind that, we really build in the wind. And as a second reinforcing front comes through during the night Saturday, we'll see gusts that could get up around 40 miles per hour pretty easily. Does look dry at this point, but it will be blustery. And even as we make our way into our Sunday, we're talking gusts that could pretty easily get up around 30 miles per hour during the daytime hours. And I wouldn't be surprised by some 40 mile per hour gusts, especially early in the day. So blustery second half of the weekend. Here's what that summary looks like with the weekend. 60s for highs Friday and Saturday. We'll struggle to get back to 50, though, on Sunday. With the stronger winds, that means it's going to feel a lot cooler despite having some sunshine around. And then again, there's that small chance of a shower late Friday into Saturday morning. So overall, 10-day forecast. You're noticing pretty mild temps through the course of the next 5 days. That's daytime and nighttime will be pretty mild. Then we get our change over the weekend. We'll pick the wind up late Saturday, especially Saturday night into Sunday, and we'll be looking at cooler temps in the upper 40s for our high there on Sunday. We'll have a few nights there that will be down into the low 30s. Don't be surprised either if those numbers drop a little bit. Some of our model runs here over the last 24 hours have been making this a little bit of a stronger push of cold air. So if you've been watching the forecast over the last day or so, you've probably seen those numbers go down some. There is a chance they go even further if those trends continue. I would not at all be surprised based on what the data has been looking like. It is a short-lived snap of cooler air, though. By the time we get to the middle of next week, you could see we're already talking highs near 60. The end of next week could put us in the mid to upper 60s for highs. And the trends continue to point pretty strongly toward warmer than average weather sticking around through the middle of November. So that's the case for much of the country, too. So that means that it's going to be likely that we're seeing a lot of highs that are 50s and 60s as we head into the middle of the month. So pretty quiet weather, pretty mild weather. Enjoy it because you know, the fact we're in November now, that the time is ticking and as to when we'll eventually see that change to more winter-like weather arriving. We'll be tracking it. We'll first alert you when those signals become a little bit more apparent. I think that'll wrap this up, though. And hopefully you'll join us here at the top of the hour on First Alert 6. I'll have the latest on how our warming's going today and what you need to know about the forecast. We'll also have plenty of new news that'll be in place as well. So get out, get some fresh air here. Join us at the top of the hour, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your Monday.